Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday morning. It's the 4th of March. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. And I've often said the book of Revelation is not the book of Revelations, the book of Revelation. And it's the revelation of Jesus Christ. That's the purpose of it, to reveal Jesus Christ. Today we're going to look at a very, very interesting passage of Scripture in the 13th chapter of Revelation. I think there's a lot to be revealed in this chapter to God's people. Apostle John starts out by saying, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy." We're going to see a further description of this beast. "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and the feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority." Well, this dragon, the dragon is often referred to as Satan, the prince and the power of the air that works in the children of disobedience. And we see this beast, and he says in verse 3, "I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast." Now, we've heard this interpretation, and I would tend to agree with it. The deadly wound that was healed, okay, what was the wound? Well, I believe the deadly wound was the Reformation. Came against the Roman Catholic Church beast system. Constantine ushered in the Roman Catholic Church by bringing all this paganism into the church. And the Reformation came against all of this paganism. Martin Luther posted his 95 Theses on the door of Wittenberg, did he not? Coming against the sale of indulgences. And eventually, Martin Luther was excommunicated from the church, and hence the beginning of the Lutheran Church. But the Lutheran Church of Martin Luther is not the Lutheran Church of today, I must say. Anyway, he says, "I saw one of the heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast." That deadly wound has been healed, folks. Ecumenism is alive and well today. And we see the whole world wondering after this beast, Roman Catholicism. And the Jesuits have done a pretty good job through Ignatius Loyola of bringing about a counter-reformation. And now we have all these Jesuit colleges and universities, and we have President Biden slobbering on the slipper of the Pope, and we have Trump endorsing Catholicism, both sides of the aisle. Where's the separation of church and state? "And they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast. They worship the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Who's able to come against the Roman Catholic Pontiff? Who's able to come against the Roman Catholic Church? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies." You ever heard one of the encyclicals from the Vatican website put out by Pope Francis and the blasphemies that come out of his mouth? Speaking great things, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months, 3.5 years. What that meant. 42 months is 3.5 years. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell on earth. And it was given unto him. Now I want to highlight this particular verse, because this is where a lot of people are into denial. I call them beast deniers. Okay? And a lot of people say, well, this is not for today. This scripture is not, this prophecy is not for this day. This was already fulfilled in 70 AD. No, it was not. Okay? Anyway, listen to this, verse 7. It was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. There's coming a time when this beast is going to have all power. And, you know, the beast is a system. The beast is a system. The New World Order, we've heard it called the New World Order. The World Economic Forum. The Climate Change Movement. The World Health Organization. The Center for Disease Control. The international bankers. The digital currency. All of this is going to come together. And it says that it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. We're seeing that come into fruition now as I speak, and people are into denial about it. Verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. It doesn't say might worship him. All that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. The only ones that are not going to worship him, okay, are those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life. God's elect. They're not going to worship him. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb. He spake as a dragon, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. If we're living during this time frame, and this wasn't 70 AD, okay? If we're living during this time thing, we're gonna see great wonders. We're gonna see fire coming down from heaven in this very sight of men. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Just asking the question, could this be AI? Could this be artificial intelligence? It says that he had power to give life on the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. The image of the beast will be able to speak. And this image of the beast will cause as many as not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for this number of man, and his number is 666. Well, we're living, this is my opinion, but we're living on the cusp of Revelation 13 coming into fruition. I'm going to turn this over to Mark and have him read it, and as he reads it, I want you to think about how this is so apropos for today, not 70 AD.
Revelations chapter 13. I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was likened to a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth the mouth of a lion. The dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads that were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. They worshipped the dragon, which gave power to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? There was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against God, and blasphemed his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. It was given unto him to make war with the saints and overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. All that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life, the Lamb slain, the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and faith of the saints. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. He had 2 horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. He doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in sight of men. Deceiveth them that dwelleth on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast which had the sword, won by the sword, and did live. He had power to give life in the image of the beast. The image of the beast should both speak, and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast and the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for the number of man, his number is 603,406.
Thank you, Mark. Well, we see these events coming into fruition today, and the good thing about it is if our names are written in the Lamb's Book of Life, we will not worship the beast. God bless.